very early on, I was a techie, so I built servers and computers and coding and all that good stuff, and ended up moving to London and fell into, well, I say I fell into recruitment, I did, but before that, I was working for BT and Adecco, and I was constantly speaking to business development managers and recruitment directors and stuff, and fixing all their IT problems. And they said, "Oh, you should be good at recruitment. Why don't you look at it?" So that's how I ended up falling into recruitment. Joined a recruitment business called Gravitas. Was there for about 6 years. Joined as a junior, worked my way up into senior, team lead, built a team. That was cool. And then left there and joined another business, associate director. COVID hit and all the rest. So then ended up leaving there and joined into tech sales. So joined a company called Hawthorne. Wanted to start at the bottom as an SDR to really go out, learn the business, learn the processes, build the processes, etc. Very quickly then got moved up into business development manager, built a team, and then ended up then being promoted again into the coach while running the team. So it was very much going in, closing the deals, etc., doing the proposals, doing the pitches, all that stuff, as well as then coaching people how to use LinkedIn, how to build content, how to maximize their time really on the platform. And then towards the end of last year, 2022, it was always on my heart to start a recruitment company. I was going to do it before I joined Hawthorne, but then COVID hit and I didn't think it was the right time. So towards the end of last year, I decided, you know what, now is the right time. I kind of want to go into it. And thus then the idea of iXL was formed. I always wanted to start my own recruitment business. Now, I'm 35 right now, and in the back of my mind throughout 2022 was always like, I don't want to get to like 40, 45, 50 and look back and think, do you know what? I should have done something myself. I should have tried out my own business. And naturally, I love sales. Naturally, I love recruitment, and I just thought it was good. It was a good synergy between what I'm good at and what I like. And then recruitment, being in recruitment for a long time and being in the industry, naturally, that's where I was just like, right, I'm going to go set up my own recruitment business. And, that was it. I suppose towards the end of last year, I was doing well in selling the product I was selling. And I think as a salesperson, kind of when things aren't quite right, when you've fallen out of love with what you're doing to an extent where you're not, the energy dips, and it's like, okay, well, maybe I'm not fully interested. Maybe I'm not giving this 120%. And that coupled with me wanting to go out and build something myself and give that 120%, then that's really where it was like wait a minute, something's not quite right here. I'm not giving everything I should be given into the business. And then that was the door open, the catalyst into then thinking about it more and more every single day, to the point where it's just like, you know what, this makes sense to go off and do it myself now. So about 2-3 years ago, when I was thinking about it before COVID, I'd looked at what a recruitment business needs in terms of, back office, finance, legal, contracts, database. So I'd already done some research anyway beforehand. So coming back into it when the feeling to start again was there, naturally I started speaking to people. And there was one person in particular I spoke to, and I was saying, right, I'm thinking about doing this in 2023. And I basically looked at what all I needed to start a recruitment business. And then naturally then from there, that conversation, that's when I was introduced into, well, if you're going to go do it, have you checked out RecruitHub? Well, I was going to go do this all by myself. So I'd sort of thought in the back of my mind, right, what do I need to start a business? And the more people I spoke to, the more people said it's quite a lot to try and take on everything at once, to try and take on, legal, HR, and get everything set up. So naturally, when I started to speak with Edmund and RecruitHub, I was like, well, this makes complete sense, because they pretty much get you set up to a point where the website, your legal, your finance, everything, your your finance predictions, cost analysis, all that sort of stuff is done with them. And having someone who's been there and done it to kind of lead you and guide you through what is needed just takes the pressure off your shoulders, where I can now then focus on recruitment while having the backup of everything that they're doing. So yeah, I think naturally when looking at a partner or business for this, it's taken all the, in quotation marks, headache away from what needs to be done. So then I can focus on the main thing, which is what I love: selling, speaking to people, building relationships, delivering a quality service, delivering the right candidates. Everyone's happy to the point where people can trust me. What iXL do, so we are sales and tech recruitment for building sales teams for tech businesses, SaaS businesses, fintech, and the like. I suppose the reason why I chose that market was, one, I've been an SDR, a BDM, I've ran teams, I've built it, I've put in processes, I've done lead generation, I've pretty much done every role that a SaaS or a tech business would recruit for in terms of sales. So when speaking to these people, I understand what type of people they're looking for. The other side of it is why it's tech and SaaS is I used to be in tech. I used to build websites and solutions and computers and servers and stuff like that. So from a technical standpoint, I get what businesses do. And naturally, having that experience coupled with 8 to 10 years in sales, 8 years being in recruitment, it just all fitted where I think I can offer a better service and qualify people to a higher standard than some people that may not. So that's why I've chose that market. That's what we do. In terms of process of going out, I don't want to just be that person that gets a CV, checks the buzzwords, and actually just sends it out. I want to be that person and company where I can actually speak to them, qualify them, interview them, so that the businesses, it's half the work or most of the work's done. They should just be turning up, and it should be a tick in the box of everything that they're looking for, because I've done the service, I've done the work up front, rather than me just sending the CV and then them having to qualify and make sure that person's the right person. So it's very much focused on the service and providing best in class, the right people to them. The vision, first year is going to be mainly just me, but I do want to build a full team, right? So within second year, I want to get up to at least 10 people. Very much focused on SaaS and tech, on the sales side of things. Once that's up and running and we're off running on all fours, then I want to probably split into another division, which would be tech. Because if I'm working with a lot of tech and SaaS businesses, the two areas that they will probably look at is sales and tech people. And having a background in tech sales and tech recruitment, being a coder and being a developer beforehand, I can qualify technical people as well. So naturally, those are going to be two arms, but that's long-term play for the tech side, but focus will be mainly sales, and then having an office in London, hybrid, where we're actually running networking events. We're doing, I'm going to be running a podcast for specific people in sales who's been there, done it, similar to myself, built teams, processes, that stuff. So the whole goal for me is to how do I give back to the sales community while building long-lasting relationships and delivering best-in-class service. The type of culture and environment I want to build is where people actually want to come to work. What I mean by that is that I've been in previous jobs where you're clock watching, where you're strapped to your desk, where you're literally 9 to 5. I want people to actually care about what they do, but actually have fun doing it, and not just be chained to their desk all the time, but actually, get my vision and get that they like the market, they're interested in it, where they can start to develop long-term relationships themselves. I want people to look at the company as those guys are doing it right. Those guys are, it's a fun, it's a cool place to work. You're treated like an adult. You're not clock watched. There's progression. There's an actual career here where people can stay for forever if they really want to. Or also want to give them the tools where I don't know, say I get someone in that, you know, in 5, 6 years, they want to go start off their own business. Great, cool. How can I help them learn the trade, learn sales, learn recruitment, build relationships, all that good stuff, so then they can go do it themselves? Check why you want to do it. Because if you're just doing it for the money and all the bright lights and stuff like that, I think that's going to be the wrong attitude to go in, because the money will come, but it's only going to last for so long. There has to be a deeper reason as to why you're doing recruitment. You know, that famous book of Start With Why. Why would you be doing certain things? So I really think it's going to be digging deep into why do they actually want to do it. Is it because they want to build something where their name's on the wall and they're known for XYZ? Is it similar to me, where it's just like I don't want to get to a position and I'm potentially a fear and regret thing of looking back and thinking, oh, do you know what, I should have. I wish I had have, because I've had that before and I hate that feeling where I was given an opportunity way back and it was like I said no to it and I should have said yes. For me, it's more about eliminating distraction, um, putting in process about what am I doing in the day, because so quickly I can get caught up, and most people can get caught up in things that are not generating um, any business or anything like that. So I think having not necessarily advisors, but people that you can go to and speak to and talk to about certain things, as an individual owner of a business, coming from like a team and of 10, 20 people where you can just quickly jump on Zoom and speak to them. When you don't have that, when you're just by yourself, you have to be ruthless with your own time and not let yourself get distracted and always question yourself. Am I, is this activity that I'm doing, is this leading anywhere? In terms of motivation, again, I'm just trying to remind myself every day of why I'm doing it.